check today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Come on over. How's your back feeling today?
Everything's pretty good.
Yeah?
Low back hurts a little bit.
Okay. Well, how about I ask you to fill this stress survey out. It just tells a little bit about what you're feeling, so that way we can figure out how to help you.
All right.
When was the last time you went to a chiropractor? Pretend it wasn't a week ago.
It's been a couple years.
Okay. So that means that you know a little bit about the good things that can come from being under chiropractic care.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, let's see here. Okay, so a little pain between your shoulders and some headache and a couple other spots, and this affects your work. Okay, well let's see if we can scan you here
All right.
to see a visual of kind of what you're feeling. So this just scans to see the hot spots, literally, of tension in your muscles. Let's click over here. I'm going to ask you, oh, yep. There we go. You have a hair tie?
No.
We'll just do that? Okay.
Can make it work here.
Okay. Let's go here. You can get this one a little bit. You scoot up just a little bit. And I'm going to get you right about here and just relax. And I'm going to come right below your shirt line there. And then we're going to come right in here. If you don't mind pulling up your shirt real quick. And then dropping your arms. Okay, well, let's look here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you already can tell that there's a couple spots that look a little red for you. So over here, we look at this kind of like a stoplight. So over here, the green side is go. That means you're doing pretty well. And it looks like you've got a couple green spots here, but they balance also with the red spots. So there's not really any low areas over here, but there's a little bit of red, and it shows the direction that it's kind of pulling on that side. Is that where you feel your tension? Yep.
It's actually pretty close to the low back that I'm feeling right this second.
Well, I would love for you to come in and meet Dr. O'Neill and see what he can do about, that actually works out perfectly right here, pain between your shoulders and headaches, and that's where it can travel up. And low back pain is right there on your right side. And we can see when you come in to see Dr. O'Neill how he can get you worked up and see how chiropractic care can work for you. I am not a doctor, but I know who I would see if I had some pain, and I actually do have some pain. So let's see if we can get you in here, and I have my schedule right here. What works best for you, mornings or evenings?
Probably evenings.
Evenings, okay, let's see what we have here. Also, we're here for two reasons. First is we have a big passion about helping out, what are we doing this month of the donations? You don't remember? We'll say Make-A-Wish. So we're very passionate about helping kids and their Make-A-Wish wishes coming true. And so we are donating 100% of the first day fee, which is only $40, which includes reported findings and x-rays if needed, and donating that to them, so that way it works out really well. So the second part is just to make sure that you get the best care possible, and I believe that's with Dr. O'Neill. So we have, you said evenings? We have Tuesday at 5:30. How does that work?
That's fine.
That works fine. Let's write you in there. Now, to save your first day, to save your appointment, I'm going to have to collect the first day fee right now. Would you like to do that with credit or cash?
Cash is fine.
Okay, let's get that done here. Okay, well, thank you. I have you down Tuesday at 5:30. I have your first day fee, and I have this, and I will let Dr. O'Neill know that you're coming in.
All right, thank you.
Hello, I'm Julie Braden, and we're about to go over the How to Stay Young class. I want to welcome you all here to the class that I think will be very beneficial to your life and the lives of your family, and I want to talk to you about how you can stay young for 100 years. Now, I know what some of you all are thinking. You're thinking, now wait a minute, the title seems catchy, but do I really need to stay young? Do I really need to know how to stay young for 100 years? It seems kind of far-fetched and ambitious. Well, it's really not. You need to start thinking about what it means to have you and your family live a long life. Let's look at the facts here. In the year 1900, the average lifespan was 49 years old. Now, there's no question that that was because a lot of people died when they were very young. There weren't the amount of cures or provide the kind of health care that we provide today. So people didn't have, everybody's chances of living a long life was much less back then, but that's the point. And actually today, the average lifespan is 77.6 years and growing. And in a recent study done by the University of Texas, they reported on the Today Show that in the year 2050, there will be 800,000 Americans living over the age of 100 and many to 150. So what does that mean? It means that your kids need to know more about how to live how to stay young for 100 years. Then they need to know what to do with their inheritance, because you will probably live so long that they will be retired themselves before they even get their inheritance, provided there is some. So yes, this is a topic that you and your family need to know about. If we're going to live for 100 years, we need that long life to be a quality life. We want to not merely exist on this planet, we want to live and play and work on this planet. We want it to be a quality life. So now we have a big group of baby boomers moving into the over 50 phase of life, and we can see in large numbers what the effects of long life can be. Long life reveals that we will have some major areas of concern over the age of 50 if we wait until the age of 50 to do something about it. Those are some areas that we've never seen before, because we haven't had such a large number of people reaching such a ripe old age. For example, we are now continually being confronted with the devastation of mental diseases like Alzheimer's. Now, this disease didn't just start. We see it a lot more because dementia doesn't usually come upon a person until they're around 70 years of age or older. Now that we realize the chances of us living so long is much greater, we need to take some precautions to make sure that we can still use our minds when we get to this age. We also see the importance of taking care of our skin. Old age has brought upon a huge growth in cosmetic surgery. More and more people are trying to correct the wrinkle problems that come with growing older. But the biggest problem that we have seen come about with increased lifespan is the increase of musculoskeletal systems. In other words, your mobility function, the ability to move around like we used to. We've increased our odds of living past 80, and we've increased our life's activities, but we have not changed the way that we take care of our spine. We are the first generation to see the ramifications that long life creates, and it reveals the areas of neglect. The stats show that the most common cause of functional disability in persons over 50 years of old is spinal disorder. That's really important to know. So how many of you would like to live past the age of 50?
Me.
Okay. How many do you think that your family will live past the age of 50? Maybe. Okay. Well, let's think about this. If your house was going to be broken into, someone was going to come in, steal all of your possessions, and just leave you hanging. But if I knew who was going to do it and when they were going to do it, and I could tell you, would you do something about it? Would you do something to prevent it? Of course you would. So now I'm able to tell you what is going to rob you of your functional capacities and when it's going to happen. Are you going to do something about it or just let it happen? Well, let's prevent it. Just like we would prevent someone from coming in and stealing our possessions, but we would work even harder to prevent our health from being stolen and our ability to function. If we lose our mobility at 65 and live to 105, that's 40 years of immobility and pain. Well, let's take a look at some of the things that have improved, some areas of healthcare that we've improved. The advancements that we've made in tooth decay. We used to have so many more cavities and loss of teeth in the past years than we do now. We take so much better care of our teeth with all kinds of preventative care, and now our teeth last much longer and hurt much less. We have more and more people are also living with less wrinkles. That's right, there's been a 465% increase in the number of people wanting to get rid of wrinkles just since 1997. 12 million people have had cosmetic adjustments trying to get rid of another ramification of getting older, wrinkles. So now I'm all for us having younger looking skin and longer lasting teeth, but I think we can agree if we can't move, our lack of mobility will make us look a lot older than crow's feet. The only reason that we respond to our teeth and our wrinkles before our spines and joints is because if our spine were on our face, we would take better care of it. We don't wait until our teeth fall out before we take care of them. So now we must not wait until our back goes out to take care of it. You take preventative steps to keep your pearly whites, so you must take preventative steps to have good mobility, since the chances are absolutely huge that you will live 30 to 40 years past the age of 50. Why is this more important than your teeth? Because there's no such thing as a spine transplant. You can get a new set of teeth, and there are many organs that can be replaced. But if you don't take care of your spine, there's no going back like you can with teeth. There's no crown or replacement, you just live with the pain. And don't forget, this isn't just limited to back pain. You can't get a new neck either. 1 in every 3 people suffers today with neck pain past the age of 50. Now let's see a raising of hands here. How many of you would like to use your neck past the age of 50 without pain? I think that's a pretty big club. If 1 out of 3 people have bad neck pain and 85 out of 100 have bad back pain, that's about the highest statistic that I would like to see for anybody to be convinced that they need to come in for chiropractic care. Just in case you need a little bit more convincing, let's look at what happens if we let nature take its course. So let's look at this mobility scale. The numbers here on the bottom are your age, and over here it represents the percentage of maximum mobility that you have. In other words, you can see that you reach 100% mobility function around the age of 23. Now, if you look at how the blue line drops, you can see here that you will lose about 50% mobility by the age of 50 that you were at 25. I'm sure all of us that are around the age of 50 would say that you have 50% mobility would be pretty conservative. So now let's look to see how it keeps dropping. At about 60, you have about 25% of your mobility. And the big question of this graph is, can it be changed? Is it too late, or can we do something about it? So let's look here. The good news with preventative chiropractic care, you can make a huge improvement on this line. So you see here on the red line how if we let nature take its course, the highest percentage is at 23 and it starts to drop right after. Now let's look at the green line. You can see that where mobility can actually be held at about 75% through the age of 80. So that's all you want to need, that's all you want to hear, that's what you want to hear, and that's all you need. That's that's what you want for your family as well. If we're going to be here, we might as well move and function. So why not take the necessary steps to make sure that happens? One answer you might be thinking is that this is the perfect thing to do if you are young, but what about us who have already experienced pain? What if we're already past 50? Is it too late? Absolutely not. In fact, I want to congratulate you for coming in right now, and it's never too late to do the right thing. We want to get you back on track. We want to get you going on a great life ahead, and this is how we can do it. The first thing we need to do is get you to follow through with the entire recommendation of care that you were given. The reason that I mention to follow through is that if you've already lived a long time with the mentality that you can take care of your spine and joints if you're in pain. This means it's going to be easy for you to think when you get out of pain that you no longer need treatments. If you drop out of the if you drop out after pain relief, you are never going to see the results of the scale that we just looked at. Pain is always the last to show and the first to go. The only way we can change the scale is to follow through with all 3 phases of your recommended care. Let's look at what those 3 phases are. The first phase, the first phase is pain relief. Now this is a reminder for some of you, but let's review and make sure we understand the cause of your pain and related health problems. You see we have what is called subluxations, which is the misalignment of the vertebrae that is causing nerve interference or pinched nerve, which can impact many areas and organs of the body and cause a lot of dis-ease in ways that you might never relate to a back problem. So picture it like this. If you've ever hooked up a garden hose and turned on the water, it works perfectly until there's a kink in the hose. If the hose has gotten twisted, it stops the flow of water that should be going through the hose. We might call that a subluxation of the hose. In other words, the misalignment of your spine is causing nerve interference and stopping the flow of messages to the nerves into the other organs or body parts, causing pain and a lot of physical ailments due to the nerve interference. When the nerve interference is removed and nerve flow is restored, so is your health. So how do we remove that interference? Through a series of adjustments. Adjustments gradually move your spine back into alignment in a way the nerve allowing the body to heal. And away from the nerve, allowing the body to heal itself. You say, great, I got a series of adjustments, why can't I just stop? Why can't I just stop when the pain is gone? It's important to emphasize that this is only the first phase of your care, and this alone will never solve your problems or change your mobility scale. We must proceed to phase 2, which is stabilization. There's a reason why you must not stop after you get out of pain. Your spine has actually been misaligned for a long time, and your body has accepted that misalignment as being correct. Your body actually thinks it's supposed to feel that way, and it's supposed to be that way because it's been that way for so long. Now the body, muscles, and spine must be reached. The spine must be in proper position for long enough time for the body to accept that position as the norm. This is called stabilization, and this takes time. Unless the spine and joints are retrained with adjustments and kept in the proper position for a long period of time, your body will naturally pull your spine right back into the misaligned position. But why does it take work and time? Well, as an example, do you go to the gym for one visit and get bigger muscles? Can you lift weights and enjoy being in shape? Well, we all wish that we could go to the gym once and look like Mr. or Mrs. Olympia, but we can't. It takes time. To get your musculoskeletal system back in stabilized position, it's going to take some time, number of treatments, and you'll need all of them. Another example, did the orthodontist straighten your teeth in one go? Of course not. Once again, it took time and work. And even after your teeth were straight, you kept your braces on for a long time and wore a retainer for even longer. In the same way, I've given you a recommendation of care that will not only get you out of pain, but you also must follow through so we can get you into a stabilized position, meaning your body has accepted healthy, proper alignment in your body for the norm. So once we've reached this stabilized condition, we will dismiss you from active care and move you to the third phase of your recovery, which is maintenance. I get the most excited about this stage because this is where we can see and enable you to change that mobility scale with a difference in the quality of your life. It isn't enough for us to want you to get out of pain. We want to move you to this opportunity where you can enjoy life. This is what you want, isn't it? The good news is this stage will not require a lot of money or a lot of time. It will be simple and affordable, but at the same time, the dividends you are paid in health and life will make it worth the effort. Preventative care is essential towards changing the mobility scale in your life. Even as I'm talking, I can hear thoughts running through your head, thinking through your mind, and you say, I knew it. I knew the chiropractor would want me to come back for the rest of my life. Well, you're right. It's right. But before you make any adjustments, let me ask you one question. Have you ever been to a doctor that said, never come back? Did you ever go to the dentist and the dentist say, don't come back until your teeth fall out? He would not say that because that would be a malpractice thing. They push you to do the right thing, which is preventative care. Do you remember when you first got your eyes checked? The doctor didn't say, great news, your eyes are fine. As far as we're concerned, never bother again with taking care of your eyes unless, of course, you lose your eyesight. No. They always want you to come back. I think it's time for you to be honest. There isn't any doctor that could or would or should recommend that you ignore your health until there is a problem. Be assured, we don't want you to come back any more times than you need to. Our waiting rooms are full enough. The purpose of our recommendation of care is to change that mobility scale for your life. We can't remove your wrinkles or make your teeth stay white, but we can enable you to move so you can work and play and stay young for 100 years. Now I realize that I sound rather passionate about this subject, and I'm experienced benefits of chiropractic care, but let me just tell you one short reason why I'm so passionate about this. So my husband and I have two beautiful daughters, and their arrival stories are completely different as night and day. So my firstborn, I was not under chiropractic care, and around my due date, I started feeling some contractions, so I went to the hospital. After 24 hours of being in the hospital, 3 hours of pushing, I ended up having to have a C-section because there was no movement in her condition. So then, around 6 months after she was born, I started seeing Dr. O'Neill. Okay. I started seeing Dr. O'Neill. That meant when I found out I was pregnant with my second, I was already under the maintenance and preventative stage of my care. During my first pregnancy, I was able to do yoga, and I ate really well, and I did everything the doctor said I was supposed to be able to do, and I did it, and it was fine, and yet I still had a C-section. Well, this one, I didn't feel very good. I was under chiropractic care either once a month or twice a month towards the end. I wasn't able to do yoga. I still ate pretty well, but not as well as my first baby. Well, I started feeling some of the happenings of labor around 36 weeks. And then about 38 weeks, I went in for a doctor's appointment, and the doctor said, you're in labor. And even though I didn't feel anything, she said, yep, you're moving in that direction. We're keeping you here. And 8 hours later, after 30 minutes of pushing, here comes my beautiful, perfect little daughter. And so now I will never again doubt the effects of being under chiropractic care because of how different such a traumatic experience can be on my body and on my daughter's bodies. So, I know what a lot of you are thinking What about me? I do care about my health and the health of my family. And I have family and friends that I know that have never really thought or known the kind of information that we've been talking about tonight. What about their health and their mobility scale? Is there anything that I can do about that? Absolutely. It's never too soon to start. In fact, even a newborn child has already experienced great trauma during childbirth and should be examined. When you think about the tremendous pressure that they've been under, tremendous pressure that is put on their neck and spine during childbirth, I think it's easy for you to see that we've actually started our lives with major untreated problems. So obviously your family needs to come in and be evaluated for a simple and easy plan toward preventing a life of immobility. The good news, with a little preventative care, we can eliminate much of their pain and management in the later years. So, to illustrate how sincere we are about preventative care, I have my assistant Bridget in the back. She's got our calendar, and she would like to she has our appointment book scheduled right with her now, with available times and for you and your family. As I said, I want to put your health and their health and future ahead of everything else. And to show you how serious we are about this, we will allow you and your family to come in for a total of only we will allow you and your family to have complete first day services, which include exam, x-ray if needed, and for a total of only $40. And we will donate that $40 to the charity of our month, charity of the month. This allows you and your family to get started with the care that they need and to see for yourself how much can mean for your health without it being a cost issue. To take advantage of this opportunity, you have to schedule with Bridget tonight. We have to keep it simple and confined to those who are here. Excuse me. But if you also want to schedule for a family member under that same special offer, I know you don't know their schedule, but I will tell you that if the time that you schedule tonight becomes impossible, we won't require any explanation or arrangements other than a new time. I hope you stay young. I hope you have enjoyed and most importantly plan on doing everything you need to stay young for the first 100 years. Thank you for coming.